Hi, this is Juha Bach from Team FOE x PPG, and I'm showing off my Jiren deck profile that I've been terrorizing my locals and store championships with. A lot of people have been sleeping on Jiren, and I think Jiren has a lot of potential. I think it's a really strong deck. It can potentially kill on turn 2, but most of the time you're killing on turn 3. One of my games was streamed the other day, and a lot of people were like, oh, I didn't know this deck could do this on turn 2, and a lot of people were asking for deck profiles. So here's a deck profile that shows a bunch of the combos that you can do on turn 2. This was a group collaboration. Shout outs to my teammates Matt Coombs and Frisco Foss for helping me come up with the first draft of the deck. Shout out to Miguel from Topo Loco. We've been also brainstorming a bunch of different things. So this version of Jiren is kind of a hybrid of Frisco and Matt's version and Miguel and my version. So this is basically the Jiren deck. So starting off with the leader. So the leader has Spirit Boost 1. You can neg a marker off your Unison to evolve a Jiren on your opponent when your opponent declares an attack. You can evolve a Jiren over a Jiren by paying its evolve cost, which most of the time is free. And his effect is you can take a life to look up the top 7 and play a 1-drop Universe 11. Red is in rest mode, so you can't play the yellow ones. So it's basically a Vampa. And then he awakens at 4 life, he untaps 1, draws 1. And on the awakened side, he still has a Spirit Boost, same effect. When he swings, he draws a card. And limit 2, he gains 5k when you evolve a Jiren. So this is actually relevant. If you didn't have limit 2, you could get this guy to like literally like 40 or 50k in a single turn. So most of the time you could get this guy up to like 30 to 35k. So that's the leader. And then the most important card of the deck is the Topo Unison. So his auto is once per turn when you evolve a Jiren, you gain a marker and 5k. His +1 is at the end of the turn you can play a 1-drop red battle card in rest mode at the end of your turn. And then his neg 7, which does come up every now and then, is if your opponent is at 3 or higher life, you burn them for a damage. So basically this Unison it makes your Spirit Boost free because you neg a marker off your leader. You neg a marker off your Unison with your leader effect to evolve, and then when you evolve, you gain the marker back that you lost, that you paid for the Spirit Boost. So it's basically free, and this Unison basically gains 2 markers a turn for the most part. And it's not uncommon to start turn, like if you open 2 of these, you can have a Topo with 4 markers on turn 1, which is really good for setting up your Yamcha. It sets up all of your evolve plays. It's really good for when you're playing turn 1 kill King Vegeta. It makes it to where if you have a Topo with 4 markers, you're gonna be able to Yamcha. They're not gonna be able to clear enough markers to prevent you from playing Yamcha. And then there's an evolved Jiren that I'll go into right now that also negs things. So it makes it very, very hard for your opponents to play when you do turn 1 Unison and you get the right play. So the 1-drops that you want to play off of your Unison and your leader are the Hipster Jiren and the Corn Dog Jiren. So the Hipster Jiren right here, the 1-drop Jiren, this is probably the most important one in the deck. When you play him, you look up the top 5 and you get to add any Jiren, red Jiren, or you can add the Topo Unison. The little Corn Dog Jiren right here, when you play it, you draw a card. So basically when you do your leader's effect, it's like a pseudo take a life, draw a card if you hit one of these, because if you hit this one, you take a life, you play this in rest mode and you draw a card. If you hit this one, you take a life, you play this, you look up the top 5, you grab a Unison or a Jiren card. This guy also has another effect that's completely irrelevant. You pay all of your 4-drop Jirens gain evolve 3. You're not using that effect ever. You're evolving for free or 1 energy in this deck. The Corn Dog Jiren also has an effect to where if it's in your drop, you can bottom deck it, discard a card from your hand, and add any of your evolved targets. Which, when I go over the combos, I'll show lots of different play lines you could do with the little Corn Dog Jiren. Then I played 3 of this guy because I like the consistency of being able to hit 1-drop U11 off the leader effect, because nothing's worse than taking a life, looking up top 7, whiffing, you don't draw an extra card, you don't get your field presence, so he just took a life for no reason. So this is basically just draws a card. He gives all your 1-drop U11s besides himself barrier, but it's just there to draw a card. It's just there for consistency. And now we get to what makes the deck work. The evolved Jirens. So I only have 2 TPs at the moment, but I would be playing 3, maybe even 4 copies of the TP. So basically the way these guys work is both of these have the same effect. You can evolve them for free over a 1-drop Jiren. And then when you play this one, when you play it, you draw a card. And this one, when you play it, you look up the top 7, you add any red U11. So you can search a super combo if you're playing Coquette, and then you bottom deck a card. So, and this one has limit 1 for the draw effect, and and this one, when you play it, it negs something by 10k. But that's a limit 1 effect. So you can evolve as many of these as you want, but you're not drawing cards or negging stuff. That's only once per turn. So basically all of these Jirens go over your 1-drop Jirens that you're playing. You're playing the 1-drops for free off your leader and your Topo Unison, and then you're evolving these guys on your opponent's turn to neg stuff or just build up a board of 15k attackers. And then you have, this is probably the best card in the entire deck, in my opinion. Like, this card is just, this Jiren, if you play it smart, your opponent can never get rid of this guy, because his effect is you can detach 2 materials under him to evolve thingies under him, or you can take a life and he cannot be removed by skills. And you have to kill him by battle. He has dual attack, and he evolves over any 4-drop Jiren or 1-drop Jiren. So he can evolve over this one or any of the 1-drop Jirens. And when you play him, you draw a card, and he's a dual attacker. So he's gonna stick on the field. And you can have, he's a limit 1 to evolve, but you can evolve 1 on your opponent's turn if you spirit boosted. And then on your turn, you could play another one. So you could have 2 of these on the field. So that's basically 4 19k swings for basically 2 energy. And his other ability is when you evolve over him, he can give your leader, he can bean your leader basically. He gives your leader a 1k boost, which is relevant in the King Vegeta matchup because, like I said, if you have your Unison set up, you can evolve this guy on your opponent's turn, bean your leader, and between the bean effect, this guy, and Yamcha, it makes it difficult for your opponent to push through. Then you have 4 of this guy. This guy is an absolute monster. This Jiren, it costs 2 to evolve. He evolves over any 4-drop or 5-drop Jiren. He's a 35k double strike. When he comes into play, he negs something by 35k, ignoring barrier. And then you can detach a material or an evolution source, whatever, to restand him and give your leader 5k. So him by himself gives the leader a 10k boost on the awakened side. He's basically a dual attack, double strike, 35k. The only downside is you have to have 3 energy to play this guy, and he's limit 1, so you can't play 2 in a single turn. But you can spirit boost. You can play him on your opponent's turn, next something by 35k when they declare an attack. And also, you cannot play non-U11s the turn you play this card, so make sure. This is kind of annoying, but you have to play your fighting against fates or like your new rulers or your SCR before you bring this guy out. So sometimes you have to like play a little awkwardly because of that restriction. 3 Yamchas because you have a Unison that gains 2 markers a turn. This doubles as an extra attacker. It's Yamcha. It doubles as defense, offense. It's no explanation needed. So here's the TP Jiren from set 9. This card does so much. This card is ridiculous in this deck. This card, it doubles as a super combo because you can discard it to bring back 2 5k. So it basically becomes a 10k combo. You can literally restart your entire chain. You can literally, for 2 energy, if you have no battle cards on the field, if you have this guy in your hand, and any of your evolved Jirens, any of these ones that cost free, you can literally discard this guy from your hand, bring 2 of the little 1-drops, evolve over one of the 1-drops, and then for 2 energy go into this guy for basically just 2 energy if you have literally no field. This guy just has so many applications. He's an extender. This card is just ridiculous in this deck. I play this card in every deck I play. It's the best SCR to use in Jiren. It's the best SCR to use in Red, in my opinion. It lets you push for more damage. It's broken. Fighting Against Fate. I play this in every deck too. This card is broken. It lets you do so much damage. I don't think this card needs explanation. 2 new rulers. Basically this combination, I just play this in every red deck that I play. It's broken. It's you could literally bring out new ruler turn 1 in this deck if you draw a good enough hand. So you can basically push, or turn 2, you can push for so much damage between new ruler, all your free Jiren evolves, etc., etc. You're Fighting Against Fate, etc. 2 double strikes because it's double strikes. It's just, you play this in every deck, and it makes all of your dual attacks even more lethal. 4 Ratted super combos because it's the best super combo to use in this deck, in my opinion. You can bottom deck your dead Unisons or 10Ks to draw into more extenders, draw into more super combos. I like it more than Coquette, even though I have some stamped Coquettes. I'd rather use the Ratted super combos. They're the best super combos in the game, in my opinion. And here we have the Frisco Foss Matt Coombs tech, the Vegeta Royal Evolution. So this card, for those of you that don't know, you can pay 1 red energy when you combo it to restand your leader. Your leader gains 5k, and all your leader skills are negated. So it basically turns your leader into a dual attack, gives your leader 5k, and when I go over the combos right now, I'll show you why that's relevant. And lastly, the 3 Eddie negates, because these negates are just broken, and I think these are the best negates to use in Jiren. So now real quick, I'm gonna go over some of the play lines of the deck. So you wanna turn 1, start with a Unison, and you wanna draw either of these one drops. Either the Corn Dog Jiren or the Hipster Jiren. You want to mulligan all of your 1-drops back into the deck because you want as many targets off of your leader Vampa's effect. So you want to only have maybe one 1-drop in your hand ever. You want to keep as many of the evolved targets as you possibly can. And obviously you keep like a Yamcha, new ruler, whatever. So basically your turn 1 play is you turn 1 Unison. You use your Vampa's effect. Let's say you hit this guy or whatever. You look up the top 5 off of this guy, you grab one of your evolved Jirens. At the end of the turn, you use your Unison's effect. You play this for free, you draw a card. So this is what your field should look like turn 1, ideally most games. So if your opponent declares a swing, doesn't matter if they try and clear this guy, this guy, this guy, or your leader swing. You would evolve over this guy, or you would evolve this guy or this guy depending on the situation. Like if you want to neg a guy off the board or stop an aggro push, you would evolve this guy, you draw a card, and then you neg the guy by 10k. Now, if you think your opponent is going to clear your chain, you want to evolve over the Corn Dog Jiren because you want the Corn Dog Jiren in your drop. If you think they're not going to be able to clear your chain, you want to evolve over the other guy because you want this Corn Dog Jiren. If you want any of these Jirens in your drop, you want the Corn Dog in your drop because the Corn Dog, what it can do is, if it's in the drop, you, like I said earlier, you bottom deck it, discard a card, and you get to grab another chain. So turn 2, assuming they swung at this thing, right? So your turn 2, you can use your leader's effect, and you look up the top 7, you grab. Let's say you hit another Corn Dog, or you hit another, let's say you hit the Corn Dog, so you draw a card. So you would evolve this guy over this guy. So his effect is you look up the top 7. You would ideally be looking for the dual attacker. So now you can pay an energy, evolve the dual attacker, you draw a card, your Unison gains more markers. So now you can swing with leader, swing with this, swing twice with this, or swing once with this, whatever. You could get your opponent down to 3 life. You could play the new ruler. You could swing with the new ruler, and you still have an energy open. At the end of the turn, your Unison is going to play, let's say, a 1-drop. So at the end of your turn, you play another corn dog, whatever, right? You draw a card. So then on your opponent's turn, and then this is gonna go away at the end of the turn. On your opponent's turn, you can spirit boost, depending on the situation, to evolve this guy, being your leader, or you can evolve this guy, neg something else, draw a card, whatever. So then going into your turn 3, your board should look something like this. And now your big Jiren is live. So now on your turn 3, this is usually your kill turn. You have you can literally play this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Depending on board state, you're gonna be spamming some combination of these cards on top of what's already on the field, etc. And then you can also combo this card, because if your opponent managed to get you to 4 life, you can awaken. You can evolve for free over one of these Jirens or whatever. When you evolve this guy, your leader gains, he becomes a 20k on the first evolve, and then you just start swinging with this guy. You detach, he restands, gives the leader a 5k, so now he's a 25k. You swing with the leader, he's 25k. You swing with whatever, you combo this card, it restands the leader's now a 30k. Your kill turn is very explosive. There's so many different avenues that you can go to try and push for game. This is just a very basic explanation. Obviously, you would do different things depending on game state, matchup, etc. That's just a very basic combo of the deck that you can do to show how explosive the deck can be. The deck has generally good matchups against everything. The only deck that I really struggle against is blue, especially blue baby. That feels almost unwinnable, but that's, it's what Broly Crown is for, and that's what your side deck is for. I would side very heavily for blue. I would side the kettles to try and counterplay their topos or whatever. Broly Crown to try and prevent them from even playing the topos or whatever. And yeah, that's my Jiren deck. Shout outs to Team FOE, of course. Shout outs to Frisco Foss, Matt Coombs, Miguel from Topo Loco for helping me come up with this deck. Shout out for Bandai for finally making a good Jiren deck. Shout outs to Ageless Cards. It's a new locals that just opened up in Torrance. Anyone that's in the LA area, please come check them out. It's a great store. The guys that run the place are great. They do tournaments every Tuesday and I believe it's every Tuesday and Sunday. But please come check out Ageless Cards, and thank you for watching this.